What's going on, people of YouTube? It's me, M. Lee, on the films, and I'm here to give you guys an unboxing slash overview slash first impressions of iFootage M1 Mark III Mini-Crane that came out last year, 2016. I didn't know it was a new item. I was just randomly browsing around on Amazon.com and I just ran into this bad boy. But I did not get it from Amazon.com. I got it from Adorama.com, brand new, $500, free shipping, no tax. They charged me shipping and tax on my Manfrotto tripod, but I ordered this bad boy directly after that, and I guess they gave me a little hookup, 3-day shipping and no tax, no nothing. So just straight up $500. So big shouts out to Adorama for that. I don't really shout out people unless they do something for me, you know what I'm saying? I don't just throw people names out there just because, so I got to give a shout out to Adorama. The iFootage crane, the same thing I said about the Manfrotto tripod inside my other unboxing. This bad boy is quality. When I say quality, you know what I'm saying? Like quantity. When you spend your hard-earned money and you're like, okay, I just dropped $500. I'm hoping that this is gonna be, worth it. Of course I know what it can do, but I just hope that it's just worth every last penny. And trust and believe, all the way down to the zippers, it's worth every little penny. They even paid attention to fine detail, like with the zippers, how you can slide your fingers in there and unzip it. Like, it's so buttery smooth. That's the first thing I look at when I buy something and it comes inside a case that got zippers, whether it be a backpack, whether it be anything. The zippers tells a lot about the quality of the overall product. So if your zippers is ass, then your product is ass. You know what I'm saying? So the zippers on there, I can unzip it with my tongue if I wanted to. But it's just that smooth, man. Excuse expressions again, but it's the iFootage M1 Mark III. And let's talk about the product itself. The bag, I didn't even talk about the bag. The bag is like high quality, just top notch, but the crane itself, the machine work done on it, the carbon fiber, every little tiny thing. You know how like when you if you get like a wooden item or a metal item, on the edges it got you can feel like little rough edges because it haven't been like machine worked or wood worked that well. It looks nice, but if you really pay close attention to the detail, you start to notice that it doesn't quite have the detail that you thought it did. It just looked good from a distance. You can get the strongest microscope in the world, you can get a magnifying glass. There's no imperfect on this item whatsoever. Like I said, the machine work is done very well. Everything feels so good in the hands. Pause. The things I love about this crane compared to my DVC 210 crane, which I sold recently, I can mount that crane, the iFootage crane, directly onto the tripod legs. So I can unscrew my tripod head, mount the crane directly onto the legs that easily. I don't have to worry about having this little finicky setup, trying to screw it onto the tripod head and then slide the quick release plate onto the head and tighten down the head and make sure that's tight so it won't move around when I'm using the crane. I know they make tripods made for program cranes and other cranes and stuff like that, but just the fact that this bad boy comes ready to put on a 75mm bowl, I love it. Another thing I love about this crane, which I couldn't stand about my other crane, which stopped me from using it inside a lot of different areas. I started getting to the point where I just used it if I really want the shot or really need the shot with a crane. If I don't really want it or really need it, then I would never break out I stopped breaking out my crane. The bag is too long. The items inside the bag is too finicky. It's just inside there. Like, it's not even, you got to put this little mesh over one of the parts and then lay the other part on top of that part so they won't scratch each other. It's like, it was just too finicky. The bag itself was just not well made, and I brought the bag separate. It don't come with a bag. iFootage, it comes with a bag. As you can see from the footage, it's all inside there. Each and every item has its own pockets. And as far as the reach, it's not quite as long as the DVC 210 crane. My whole point in getting this crane was to get nice little creative indoor shots, little wedding shots and stuff like that. You don't necessarily always got to get high up in the air just to get some unique crane shots, and that was my main goal, because I noticed that I wouldn't really use the height of the DVC 210 crane as much as far as doing creative type videos. Sports, yeah, but as far as like my creative videos and videos I do for people and stuff, and future weddings, especially weddings. Like, there's no way in the world I would bring my DVC 210 crane, but with my iFootage crane, I can take this bad boy so many different places, indoors, outdoors. It's a breeze to set up, you know. It's not finicky, and to my surprise, I was shocked when I stretched out, when I extended it to its maximum reach. It's almost as long as my DVC 210 crane. But as far as putting both of those versus each other, as far as how much weight it can carry, I would say that the DVC 210 can carry about 3 times more weight than the M1 crane. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the pole that extends out from the M1 Mark III mini crane, after about 15 pounds, I put only 15 pounds. That's how much it requires to balance my 502 head mounted on the front of the crane with my C100 Mark II. The front weight, I'm not worried about the front weight at all. Like, it can handle all that weight in the front. The counterbalance bar, that's the thing that's kind of, you can feel that at 15, around 10 to 15 pounds, you know, it's kind of struggling with that weight a little bit, you know, because it is a little round bar that extends, you know, and it's round. It's not like the square tube that they, you know, redesigned in the front to where it can handle a lot of weight. It's round and it extends out, especially if you have it extended to its maximum length, you know, for the counterbalance, and then you pop 15 pounds on that, you know, you start to see it kind of like, you know, kind of want to bend a little bit, kind of like, you know. So I wouldn't recommend anything over 15 pounds. So if your camera requires you to put more than 15 pounds worth of counterbalance weight, then that means your camera setup that you have mounted on the front is too heavy. Now, if there was some different type of counterbalance mechanism, then it'd be no issue adding at least 25 pounds of counterbalance weight. You just got to be careful with that, because I feel that over time, if you be adding too much counterbalance weight on the back, it might start kind of like don't want to go in, right? Because it's kind of bent a little bit, like just slightly, because of all that weight you've been putting on there over time. So only if that was a little bit stronger, you'll be able to put a heavier setup. But I mean, I got the C100 Mark II, then the heavy 502 Manfrotto head. And speaking of that, that's another thing that sold me about this crane. It requires no extra parts. You need absolutely nothing. You can mount this directly onto your legs. You need no extra accessories. You can mount your head directly on to the crane. It comes with the little 75 millimeter bowl. The only downside I would say about this crane is that I wish it supported the industry standard like quick release plates, but it don't. The quick release plates that it come with are slightly smaller than, you know, the regular size ones. So if you want to use, you know, your standard size quick release plates, you can't. You got to mount it onto the ones that they provided for you. And that's one thing you want to try to avoid. You always want to try to avoid, you know, when you're trying to switch your camera setup, you want to avoid having to unscrew a plate off your camera and screw on a different plate, because you're wasting time, especially if you're at a wedding. That just requires you to be more planned out. You gotta really plan out when you're gonna switch your shot up, especially if you're only filming one camera. But that's the only downside. Well, there's actually 2 downsides, as I mentioned before, with the counterbalance. You know, that pole that you use for the weights, you know, it's not meant for super heavy setups. It's meant for, you know, your DSLR, C100, things of that nature. It's not meant to put a whole entire rig on this bad boy. It's not. You might as well, if you're working with all that, you might as well go and spend $3,000 on the actual crane, you know, like something that's super heavy duty. It's not going to be as small as this one. And that's one thing I love about it. It's small and strong. Have you seen a small, strong person? It's like a midget that's strong. No offense to anybody, but they're strong. Midgets are strong. So it's like, that's what it is. It's like a small, strong, something that's small, but it's very strong, you know. So even though it's not a $3,000, $10,000 crane, it still allows me to mount professional gear on this bad boy, and it handles the weight well. And the quality of this crane compared to my recently sold Pro-Am DVC 210 crane, man, it's like night and day. White and black, up and down, full and empty, gay and straight. Like, it's it's like a big difference. You can tell just by looking at both of them side by side which one costs more money. Now, don't get me wrong, the Pro-Am DVC 210 crane, those cranes it's a little bit cheaper, and it got higher reach. So if you do got the time to set up, and if you don't mind, you know, finicking around, you know, because it comes in 2 different parts, so you got to slide those parts into each other. All cranes come in parts. But if you're trying to bring a lot of gear somewhere, you're trying to get set up real quick, you're trying to get nice little movement shots at a small area, and then you can choose your size. That's the thing I love about this crane. It slides into itself, so you can choose what size you want. I can have it extended all the way closed to get like, you know, little small reach. And then I can have extended halfway. With the other crane, I couldn't do that. So that's why I was sold, and that's why I feel like $500 is very, very worth it. You know, it gives me the strength that I need to hold my equipment. It gives me fluidity. You know, it moves real smooth. It's stylish. You know, it looks nice. It's flawless. You know, every time I unzip this crane bag, it greets me. It's like, hello, how are you today? I'm like, I'm good. You ready to work? Yeah, baby, let's go. Okay, baby, let's go. So that's how it is, you know. And it looks nice. It gets people's eyes looking like, dang, like I want to get some work done by you. Like, whoa, you know. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and end this unboxing / overview. I hope you guys like this video. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe. And if you didn't like the video, give it a thumbs down, but give it a thumbs down and tell me why. Don't just give it a thumbs down now, baby. You got to tell me why, what's going on. But I'm happy, man. As you can see, I'm hyped up. Haven't really did no heavy duty work with this stuff yet. I got a music video coming up, a little small, low budget music video, but I'm gonna make it do what it do, you know, with the quality. We're gonna see how, you know, how everything works out. I hope you guys enjoyed this again, and I'm out.